Hey guys, I would like to welcome you guys to this excellent stream. Yeah, so, sit back, get something to drink, get something to snack on, that kind of thing, just relax, just doing my own thing. Unfortunately in this, you cannot make your lobby closed, which means if you do play survival, it will be with randoms on a random map you did not select or vote for. Which means you can be put on shitty maps. Why are they shitty? It's just the shitty layout. And I'll show you a great map, and I'll give you my tips and tricks, guys. This map is going to be Crash. You guys are going to be like, oh, this ain't hard. It's bullshit. Once you start it, it's bullshit. Like, at first, it's bullshit. You spawn in this really narrow corridor, and then you can get butt-fucked quick. So, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to try to run through this as quick as I can, and try to see if I can master this map. Potentially, I don't know your definition of master. I got on wave about 50 today, with the randoms that are actually there to verify. I can bring them in the party, but I don't think they're online right now. I don't want to bother them if they're asleep or doing their own thing. So, honestly, I friended them. I shot them all a friend request. They thought I was pretty cool. I thought they were pretty cool. Whatever. It was really good because I was communicating with the randoms, and they turned out to be pretty cool. They had mics. They weren't exactly rude. They weren't blaring rap or rock, for that matter. Obviously, I prefer rock. I wouldn't mind rock, but they weren't blaring music. I guess is what matters, right? They weren't being annoying. They weren't being pesky. They weren't cussing me out. They weren't calling me an asshole or anything like that. They were actually really nice people, man. They were really great. So I really enjoyed that a lot because I'm like, this is some good community, man. This is why I love the survival community, man. Yeah, you're gonna get the few pesky people in there like me that occasionally call people ass because they're constantly dying. Okay, so one of the big tips, and this is a prime example, it's finding your placement in the map. Finding areas that you can quickly learn how to abuse and how to execute. As you guys can see, I'm constantly moving up when I'm taking damage. This fans out the distance between me and my enemies and allows me to reload, check my weapons, keep calm and maintained. That gives me a big advantage. Right off the bat, I'm at 1,600. Good start for round 1. You get all the kills in some moves, okay? Remember that. Okay, so we can click. You guys can buy whatever gun you think you would prefer. Personally, me, I'm going to save up my money. Buy whatever weapon you feel you need. Because buying weapons is going to be key. Only specific weapons drop. And those are weapons that enemy AI is going to be listed with. That's usually PKMs, AK-47s, FNFALs, FFRs, the FAMAS. Okay, I'm not going to fucking call it the bullshit name that the game gave it. The devs gave it. I can't fucking remember all the thousands of kooky names that these people gave their fucking guns, okay? I'll call them by their real name. Like, this is the E, obviously this is the license, so so forth. You spawn with a Glock, or the X16, I think is what it's called. And, basically, you're spawning with a Glock 17, or a Glock 19, whatever the Glock is that you spawn with, it's ass, okay? You're gonna end up dropping that thing quick. You're gonna drop that thing like a bad habit when you realize how useless it is. It's good for accuracy, and you know what? If you choose to upgrade it, I'm gonna say that. I'll say that. If you choose to upgrade it, it can be pretty decent. Damn it. Plenty of shotgun ammo. This shotgun is just a regular. Oh, fuck me. Well, I got domed. I can't talk. Whatever. You're gonna get the shotgun. And it's going to prove very retarded, just like in Modern Warfare, in Modern Warfare 3, you had this really shitty shotgun. And I mean, it was overpowered at first, granted, yeah, whatever. Like I said, finding a placement in the map at the start. This means tactically sprinting to a location you know you're most secure at. And this is typically a location close to spawn, so usually look around. I can't obviously retreat. I can't, look around in the map. I'm gonna start conserving ammo as much as possible by just beating them with my weapon, rather than actually using my weapon. That thing I told you about the Glock, that's being useless, drop it the first line of sight. That's not exactly true. To an extent, it has a lot of truth to it. For noobs, I recommend it, and for pros, I don't. For pros, I actually recommend saving this, because this has a lot of good starting ammo. Whether your goal is to get that full auto Uzi real quick. He's got an Uzi, let's beat him down. Bloody hell. I barely wasted any ammo. Okay.
30 seconds.
Now, I guess this time around I'm gonna buy a better pistol. And don't feel ashamed if you feel like buying a pistol. For me, I feel like buying the Renetti, and I feel almost like putting the burst mod on there, just to kind of see how far this gun can get me in survival. I've never done it before. Out of curiosity, none of that's too crazy. Right? Anyway, this Uzi's calibrated a 9x19mm Parabellum. Okay, same as this 9mm Parabellum. For whatever reason, pistol ammo is different from this. Bloody hell! 88 shots. Oh my god, actually look, the ammo is the same. What the hell? 56? Oh my god! The ammo's the same. It can, oh my god, that's realistic. Oh my god, I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that. I better switch this weapon. I don't want to use this weapon anymore. What the fuck? That's realistic as shit. I loved it. I didn't know that. As a gun enthusiast, I'm impressed. Okay, I'm sorry. I had a brain fart moment. So because they shoot the same kind of round, they consume the same type of ammo, and it's not divided between pistols and SMG. They got it right, because think about it. All an SMG is a submachine gun. It's a machine gun with a pistol caliber. That's what it stands for. It's what it means.
Your way. You need to move.
Okay, back to serious though. And you know, I can get carried away. You know, survival is very hard. You'll figure this out. Round 1 and 2 are going to be the hardest rounds. And it sounds stupid when you say it at first. Yeah, granted, I get it. But you got to understand where I'm coming from. It's your supplies are the most limited. You're not given the best of weapons at first, and you're going to be surrounded very quickly without much weapons to dispatch your enemy's weapon. No, I guess. Okay, and we're going upstairs. This is a great moment to sort of regenerate your health. So I guess if you were to use the Uzi, I guess get it calibrated at 41 AE. It will not only do more damage, but it will also consume a different ammo if you're going to use the Raffica. Or not the Raffica, well, the Beretta 92, but fuck this, I'm going up here. I think they call it the Renetti in this, but it was called the Raffica in MW2. But as we all know, it's the Beretta 92. It's obviously the most popular handgun in all action movies and games. Though granted, I mean, it's been in Resident Evil, it's been in Max Payne, it's been in GTA. I mean, it's been in so many games, man. You can't begin to list the games that gun's been in. Bloody hell! 1,700. This is the best start I've ever had. No cap. No cap intended, rather. That sounds much better. what am I gonna do?
Found something.
I chose to buy this. This is calibrated in 9mm parabellum. So if I were to keep or if I were to find a replica with this, they'd be consuming the same ammo. I don't think it works like that in multiplayer though, but it works like that in survival. Which is great because this gives you another reason to play survival. The MP5 is an excellent gun for clearing rooms. It's excellent in every facet of survival. It's accurate, it's mobile, it's got great control, basic handling. It's got everything you want in a solid SMG, and then some. Granted, I mean, when you get this, you're getting the full package here. I mean, this isn't some half-assed deal. This is a good weapon. Granted, you can get it really cheap at just under. I'm advertising a weapon now. But you can just get it just there at just 1,500, which isn't all that bad, with all things considered. I mean, if we just simply buy ammo for it the next round, I mean, granted, you're gonna still have leftover cash. Next round, you can get an assault rifle. Speaking of assault rifles, I'm going to end up getting the AN-94, because the AN-94, at least to my knowledge, I leveled it up quite a bit while playing the actual survival, and for whatever reason, I've been having this weird glitch where it's not giving me proper XP count for how many enemies I kill, and I get it, you're not going to earn anything in private mode like this. I'm going to switch over to semi-auto, because I find that semi-auto use for this range is exceptionally useful, especially you can pump in multiple shots, and each shot's worth 10, so it just gives you that much of extra points. Granted, they stack, so I mean, 10 becomes 20, so forth and so on. And to be honest, I'm kind of sad they don't give me a headshot bonus here. But this helps me save my ammo, that way I'm not wasting too much ammo.
No!
If that makes any sense, I hate wasting ammo in games. And I don't mean by wasting, it's needlessly wasting. Unless I have infinite ammo, then it doesn't matter at that point.
30 seconds.
What's it called? I'll be able to buy the AN-94 now, which is good because it's a high-end gun. I was using the what's it called? I was using the M4 a while back, and so I realized now that the M4 is a great option. Don't get me wrong; it's one of the best options in my opinion, arguably. But at the same time, when you can get a weapon like the AN-94, 5.56x39, you're not only getting a better weapon, you're getting a weapon that's truly unique. From its 2-round burst capability to its simplistic use. Boom. Sweet, I got a quad feed from that.
Light infantry, moving on your position.
This is pretty solid. You have to hit X, by the way, to go down. I've seen a lot of people die to that ladder. This is bullshit. Then they get really, really frustrated, and it's like, don't get frustrated, man. You just, you're not pressing the right buttons.
Seconds.
I get it. When you're not pressing the right buttons, you know, you get kind of frustrated. I get that shit, man.
Attachment here. Attachment here.
They have Juggernaut. Watch it. Armor target. Moving in your position.
So the Juggernaut. This is going to be a very interesting node. At first, the Juggernaut's going to be very intimidating, simply because he's going to be taking damage from normal enemies and the Juggernaut himself. Starting off, your first Juggernaut, there will only be one, which is a good first encounter. Find a way to get cheap shots on him. Don't get too over oblivious to the matter. As you'll quickly find, you'll need to quickly clear out your space. As I saw him climbing up that exact ladder, I realized now his intentional plan. My common goal now is to simply just get as many kills as I can and quickly end the wave itself by just getting as much kills as possible. You can hear him out from his, what's it called, his badass music. Doom Guy music, pretty much. He's listening to the Doom Guy soundtrack and he thinks he's Doom Guy now. So, we gotta hide from him a little bit. Armor may be huge, humongously ridiculous, but don't mean he can't run. Just don't get me wrong, this fucker can run. He is a Juggernaut, after all. He's a person, which means he must be very, very strong, and he can run. A little bit of armor don't weigh him down any. Don't weigh him enough down for him to just jump across that wall like that. You guys just saw it. Some scary shit, doesn't it? Pop as many shots as you still can, and sort of evade him by just trying to outrun him constantly. As you see, now if you have shotguns on the other hand, it's a different story. Close this door. If you close doors, you got to open them eventually. I'm gonna try to come up here, which I could cheese him at the ladder. He's gonna do. I got him caught up in here. It's really good, because now I can cheese him. It's exactly where I want him. Which is okay, because honestly, I don't want him anywhere else. Perfectly fine, because now I have this minigun. I'm at 91 kills, 0 revives, 0 downs. I'm going to end up having to find myself a self-revive system of some sort. If they have it available. There are still some things I don't know about survival yet. One of them is the whole how to use the revive all teammates bullshit. I experienced a member of my party using one of that during when I was interacting with the randoms. And I don't know how the hell the guy managed to do it. I don't know how to do it. That's what I'm saying. I always like to use the minigun right after because this thing's very limited to just 300 rounds. Not an extremely limited capacity. That's more than some weapons get. I get that. The closest thing you're going to get to feeling like an exact badass later on, and besides that, you're going to get lots of kills with it. Which is pretty much all that matters, right? Alright.
Shit.
Okay, I'm going to get surrounded. I've been cheese-dicked. I got cheese-dicked. Okay. Man, oh brother, this is survival though, man. It's hard shit. Don't get me wrong. It's the hardest solo, I'm telling you, man. This is so hard. You don't have buddies to help you out. Now, the benefit to that, though, you don't have to, there's no sharing. When you have a buddy, sharing is caring. Sort of, right? Yeah, hopefully you share. I did that on purpose. I got frustrated. I just wanted to beat the shit out of those terrorists with my handgun. But, what's the word on it? A tip I used to hear a lot and never made sense of was the whole take control.
We're tracking multiple enemies near your position.
It's hard to take control. Don't get me wrong, bro. It's easy to, but at the same time, it's hard, bro. On solo. My only tip, if you're gonna do this to maintain control of the situation, remain calm at all times. I'm not calm, actually. I'm very fucking worried. I'm gonna get outrun here in this hallway. It's the easiest thing to happen. And it's one of the darndest things that actually happens to players in this hallway is they run out of ammo for the shotgun and then they have to reload it, and it takes this really long time to reload. To load each shot manually through the tube, like an actual shotgun. And it's not some GTA load one shell in and you magically have all of a sudden, boom, your entire tube is loaded. Nah, a magazine tube don't work like this in this game. The shotgun's a great early weapon. It's one of the best economic weapons, and you're gonna hear that term and you're gonna be like, economic? What does that have to do with anything with the economics? Think about it like this, man. If most enemies are using it, that means that ammo is readily available, which means you don't have to buy it. Which means if you use it every round, you don't have to buy the ammo for it. You can just pick it off the bodies. That saves you money and allows you to save so much. It pretty much allows you to float in cash, essentially. 1,600. How I'm gonna spend this money? I'm not quite frankly sure. I think I'm gonna... You know what? I don't know what I'm gonna buy with this, to be honest with you dudes. I've never tried out the Finnick. I've always wanted to try out the Chris Vector, but I always get discouraged. So I think I'm gonna use it.
Got something here.
It is calibrated in 45 ACP. Yep.
Bloody hell!
Don't get me wrong, I love using SMGs, and to be honest, the Finnick and the, what's it called, I'm trying to think. The Finnick and the, MP5 would be a great combo. Same type of weapon, different ammo, which means you won't consume that other weapon's ammo upon using it. This is the easy cheese spot. Remember this if we're gonna camp here. Move up. And go down.
30 seconds.
We're running low on ammo.
Touch me here.
Ten
Touch me
seconds.
here.
Unlike normal drum mags, for most SMGs don't really receive drum mags. So I personally think the Finnick, or the Chris Vector in this matter, is actually very unique. The simple fact that it is included with a drum mag.
Enemy infantry, moving on your position.
Think about that for just a second. Just a split minor second. You're getting this ridiculous amount of damage potential because you got so much rounds in this mag. 40 rounds of SMG ammo. Sure, an SMG like this, getting an extended mag is almost a necessity. Simply because you're just going to be burning through ammo so quickly. Fuck me. I had it. I moved past him. I got frame fucked. Honestly, the Chris Vector is really, really good. I recommend it for round, post round 1. But you have another option, that would be the MP5. And it depends on which route you want to go. Damage and fire rate versus accuracy and balance. Damage and fire rate make rounds go by like Swiss cheese and allow you to conserve more ammo. Though if you switch on full auto switch on, you're going to find that running out of ammo is going to be very frequent. And you can burn through its rather small ammo pool. It's not really that small of an ammo pool considering that, you know, how much ammo you get. There are smaller ammo pools in the game, I get it. But it's like, for the amount of rounds you fire per minute, the RPM on that weapon is just ridiculous, dude. Here's where I make my choice, and choice 1 is what SMG do I want. This gives me high capacity, though I won't be able to change it though, and it gives me good damage. The MP5 has more damage.
10 seconds.
Then again, the Finnick,
Got something here.
I would hope the Finnick has more damage. I haven't seen it though, but I'd hope it would because it's calibrated in, what's it called, 45 ACP. This thing also, its fire rate's far more balanced, allowing you to have far longer mag time, and a few other things like that. I mean, then again, the Finnick's drum magazine is only 40 rounds. The base extended magazine for this is 40 rounds, which essentially means it's a 10 round difference. I feel that the drum magazine was an actual, like, I don't know, 60 rounds. It may be something worth looking at. That makes any sense, as it would essentially be 20 more rounds added to the magazine. Or actually, if it were a 30 round mag, if it were 60, it would be an additional 30, meaning double the capacity. In this case, I'm pretty sure the Finnick only had a 40 round mag cap when it had the drum mag. Though I could be mistaken. Putting this thing in a semi-auto turns the thing into a pistol, and it allows you to basically rack up a lot of points. Getting them far away is great because it does even less damage, allowing you to pretty much stack up your damage count. which is great,
30
with all
seconds.
things considered. And here's my thing, right? I buy max ammo for this, and simply buy the extended mag.
Attachment here.
Like what?
10 seconds.
And I'm at 45 rounds, so even this, if I'm not mistaken, this has 5 more bullets in it than the Finnick. So, in my opinion, the drum magazine is a necessity for it. However, it's not really worth it in the long run, in the grand scheme of it all. It's gonna blow open.
Bloody hell!
Did I somehow glitch the game to give me extended mags? Not sure. I sort of gotta hit triangle, and triangle sells your attachments if I'm not mistaken.
30
Correct?
seconds.
And this is 45 capacity. Let's see. Did I somehow glitch the game?
Attachment here.
What? I did! I had to buy that attachment twice.
10 seconds.
This is 270.
Light infantry, moving in your position.
Oh, why the hell did I did that? I don't understand. I already had extended mags. So I bought the extended mag or the actual, like, extended magazine. And then I think I hit triangle on accident and sold it, and I still had it on my weapon. And none of the effects really fucked it up. Okay, if you wait long enough, you will get the AK-47. Which, if you do pick this up and plan on using it, this could prove very useful. Oh no, I'm not really, this isn't really about tips and tricks anymore, this is about experimenting.
30 seconds.
Because I already have the AK-47, I'm just gonna go ahead and just buy the 70 round drum mag. And pretty much just say fuck it. This drum mag gives me a great capability. You guys don't even know. It pretty much turns this thing into an almost LMG-like status. Which is exactly perfect. It's exactly what I want in a gun like this. The AK-47 does solid damage compared to the puny 5.56 NATO and that pretty puny ass M4. Sure, it's extremely accurate and it's one of the best weapons, but granted, it doesn't do a lot of damage. High damage plus a lot of bullets. If you unload an entire mag into some fucker like this, you're gonna get a good kill. And still have ammo for more. I mean, that's just plenty of example right there on why this gun is amazing for survival. If you want to clear out an entire room of bad motherfuckers and you just don't like any of them, this is what you do with it. Oh shit. One thing I don't like is this is in 7.6.2. This is in 7.6.2. Granted, that's in 7.6.2 by, I think it's 54, and this is 7.6.2 by 39. If you don't care about that difference, then it should, technically by the logic, it consumes the same ammo type. So it should be the same ammo type for the pickup, right? By this game's logic, no. It doesn't shoot the same magazine, which I guess is the only thing that really makes it, I guess, make sense. Also, this guy just dropped an AK-47, and oh my god, oh no, please don't, ah.
Bloody hell!
30 seconds.
Guy dropped an AK-47, I didn't be able to pick up the ammo for it, which makes no sense at all.
Attachment here.
10 seconds. Snipers in the area. Hunt them down.
Ha. Look guys, I sold my attachments, so I still have 4,000. I glitched the game. So look, I have my attachments still.
Enemies inbound.
I glitched the game, so I still, technically speaking, have my drum bags. And yet, I also have all my ammo for it too.
Moving on your position.
But I got all my money back from those attachments. This is good. This is good. Wait, I think I discovered a glitch.
Moving on your position.
I think fully loaded is not really needed as a perk, I don't think.
Seconds.
Attachment here.
10 seconds.
Attachment here.
Host has left the game. I don't think I left the game. That was really awkward. Huh. My game's been a little glitchy. I was strange with the whole magazine glitch thing. I don't know. Leave in the comments section below if it works for you. If you get that extra attachment slot and still keep your extended magazines in their full ammo. Because if that's the case, that could really be useful, especially if you're going to fully trick out your blam blam. I don't know if you want to call it a blam blam. That sounds like autistic as fuck. It's a great way to trick out your gun. That's all I'm trying to say. Because think about it. You have an extra attachment. Throw on whatever you want. Attachments only boost your favor and only make your weapon just slightly better and alter them in such a way. I mean, if you pick a good and solid attachment that doesn't have any takeaways, you're technically speaking benefiting yourself. I wonder if you sell all the stocks and get all the benefits of all the stocks.
On report, we're tracking multiple enemies near your position.
That would be very interesting in my opinion. course, I have my own little experiment actually. Well, I need the Uzi. My own little experiment. I might have found a new way to make a lot of money. Then again though, it might not even work like the way I think it might.
30 seconds.
Oh, it doesn't.
What's this? Attachment here.
And it worked again. That's awesome. So it does work. It is an actual glitch. You buy the mag, and in the same sense, while you're buying it, you sell it right away before the game has time to unprocess your weapon model. Because I guess when the weapon gets the attachment, I guess it can't be untaken. So I guess all I have to do is just sell your attachments back, and then you'll even have more money in that same sense. Obviously, I bought the, what's it called? I ended up having to buy the ammo back for it, though, which is unfortunate. But cost of ammo is nothing compared to the cost of an actual magazine, which is sufficient. Because to be honest with you guys, I really think it's cheesy how they pulled that on us.
30 seconds.
Also, not gonna lie, I mean, if it works on this.
Attachment here.
10 seconds.
But I still have it, but nothing's on my weapon. Sweet. Wasted my money though. How about having all the attachments on there, dog? All of them. I wonder what something like, I don't know, like the AR-15 or the M4 for that matter. M4, AR-15, M16 variation.
Incoming. Light infantry.
that has in store for us if we can glitch all the attachments. In that case, it'd probably be a very overpowered weapon by all regards. Granted, though,
Yeah.
I don't know how the fuck I discovered this glitch. This was accidental. I did not mean to discover this by any means, dog. This is more unintentional than, you know, your sperm breaking through your condom. That's how unintentional this is. You can almost tell it too. I couldn't make this shit up, man. I wonder, bro, if I just bought the sleight of hand perk.
Attachment here.
Refilled my ammo.
10
Switch
seconds.
weapons, obviously.
Attachment here.
Sold that.
Enemy juggernaut, get to cover.
Huh. Sweet. Big cheese. This is the moment we've been waiting for, gents. Wait a second.
Armored enemies inbound.
Wait a second, my capacity's back to... Oh, what the hell? That's so strange. That's so crazy. When I bought sleight of hand, it switched it back to normal. It's kind of gay in my opinion, considering just how overpowered that glitch was. So I guess you have to buy sleight of hand when you buy the extra mags and sell both, and then end up buying max ammo and keeping it. I really don't know what that's going to do, and to be quite frank with you guys, my only complaints with this mode really is there's just not enough stuff to buy. And that doesn't mean you have to add new items, make them more expensive. Not at all is what I'm saying. What I'm saying, what they should have done was add perks to buy. Because at the end of the day, I truly think if the game had perks you could buy to make your character better, as, you know, perks. Like this. You go over here, click on this, perks. Obviously, they'd have to change overkill, right? They'd have to make it so you can have 3 weapons instead of 2 primaries. At the end of the day, 2 primaries only takes you so far. You know, it's like, to be honest, it's kind of stupid. Just 2 primaries? Okay, well, you already had that in Warzone. Then what's the purpose? Oh, overkill kind of gets obscured. I think in survival, it should be that you should have 3 weapons and extra ammo. Something about extra ammo being added. It doesn't have to be a lot. It could be like 10% extra ammo. I don't know, an extra mag worth of ammo. That would keep things a little bit fresh. You know, you'd have an extra mag of ammo sparingly. It makes the longer waves more easier. Because now you have 3 weapons that you can get extended magazines with. So you have maximum ammo potential with them. And you're talking a few thousand rounds. I mean, you know, if those don't last you, besides that, you're going to be mainly using juggernauts and sentry guns, and they're not going to be wasting your ammo really like that. But I'm just saying, if you really got desperate and you bought all the ammo kits every round, you threw down ammo and armor kits and grenade kits, you can buy 1 perk. Okay, you can buy literally 1 perk. That perk is what's it called? If I don't say that, it was shrapnel. It gave you 2 basically an extra lethal. Shrapnel doesn't help out your explosive damage. It doesn't do shit. If it made, honestly, if shrapnel in this case gave you an extra tactical, it would be worth it. And then I would buy resupply instead of overkill. Now I'm regenerating grenades and equipment and stuff. Now you're talking. Also, it would be really, really nice if they gave you field upgrades, field ordnance, you know, your field upgrades, which are your, if you go to right here, these are your field upgrades, man. Yes, granted, a lot of these are already in survival. All of these are in survival. However, I think that truly speaking though, it'd be really nice if you bought them as a field ordinance than an actual just ammo box. You have to wait for the regeneration time and all that. And okay, I get that. It would make the game more fresh. It would give players specific roles rather than buying kill streaks. Because some of these are actual kill streaks. These are your actual field things. Munition select. Some of these are actual, like, kill streaks. And I'll show you this in multiplayer. If we go to multiplayer, it's a little bit different. And I'll show you how. And I can tell you that not every single field upgrade is going to really apply here. But if you go down to it, picture this. A stopping power increases your damage. Extremely slow recharge rate. Okay. Deployable cover. This would be actually worth it as a field upgrade. Because think about it for just a second. Think about it. You can place down a piece of cover in a very open area. If you're going to hold that position, it limits your enemy's chance to hit you. If you're going to hide behind that cover, it blocks off specific points of entry. Yeah, you can buy it, place it once, and it breaks like the next wave or two. Or it could just simply be destroyed by juggernauts. And there's a lot of enemies, mind you, they're going to shoot and break through it eventually. Making it a field ordinance makes it infinite. It just has to recharge. And since the game technically goes as long as you can survive, I can imagine that if you had 4 people, or at least 2 people using these, you can block off points of entry and just hold out. And I could just imagine that that would change the flow of survival completely. It would change the way we look at it. Now you'd have a field ordinance table to go at, and I get it, you'd have to change the flow of the maps, because now you're adding another store. And then you want a perk store. So that's, how many stores is that? That's 5 different stores. That means there's 5 different locations you gotta go to buy specific items. And in late waves, you're not gonna have much opportunity to. Which is okay, granted, if you're gonna buy all, like, perks, you can only buy 1 per perk slot, pretty much. So it's like everyone has their specific perks, what they're running, how they're doing it, and how it fits into their role. Say, for instance, you want a demolitionist. Great. Now you have somebody with stock up, and it allows them to regenerate their equipment. This saves them the trouble of having to go to the store, and now, guess what they can do? They can place claymores and create traps. So each wave, essentially, they're placing out traps. Proximity mines, or bouncing betties for that matter, work the same way. But I think that claymores work the best. Rather than every round have to run back to the store, pay $400 for another claymore, it's kind of stupid. But they'd also have to buy shrapnel, and if each perk is like, what, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, that's almost the cost of a juggernaut. Just for reference, that's expensive. I'm just saying, that's almost the cost of it. I mean, it's 7,000 for a juggernaut. If you're paying 5,000, 4,000, 3,000 for 3 perks, you're essentially spending over like 12, 13,000 easily on perks. Perks alone, which will take a long time to get, especially considering you have to buy ammo each wave, or you want to buy armor box because it helps you survive longer. Essentials. You have to buy essentials. Weapon upgrades don't come cheap. They're like $900 a piece and higher. Maybe sometimes 1,230 a piece. Granted, if you have a perk that gives you 3 weapons, you're going to spend a shitload of money on weapons. And granted, some weapons are $2,000. So let's say I buy the AN-94, which is $2,000. The MP5, which is $1,500. That's $3,500. Let's say I'm going to buy a shitload of perks. Let's say they're $5,000 a piece or $4,000 a piece. That's like $13,000 again. Gotta remember, the essentials come first, the perks come later. If the perks become essential, then you have to prioritize your inventory in such a way it would change the flow, the structure. And then, of course, you'd have those field upgrades. Those would cost a shitload of money, I'd imagine, depending on their usefulness. I guess. So, I mean, and plus your score streak, so you're spending a shitload of money. And if you have 4 people, you're not making a lot of money. Everyone's getting their kills, which means you get your share for how many kills you get around. So So whoever gets the most kills that round gets the most money that round, and it's not even a guarantee they're going to make up to $2,000 a round. You kind of catch my drift here. I mean, if it's $100 per kill, if you kill 10 enemies, that's $1,000. How many enemies would you have to kill to get 60,000? You have to kill like 600 enemies, essentially, kind of, or something along those lines. And if you think about it, round one's only 11 enemies. So I mean, not everyone's gonna be able to get up to 1,000, a round in those first 3 or 4 rounds. Which by then you're already going to be fighting the Juggernaut, and you're already going to be struggling and buying your ammo. So I think it would be an excellent feature. It would give the players something more to grind for. It would make the end result much easier. It'd be much easier to survive much longer solo because you'll have more kills, more points, whatever. You'll be able to manage a resource and be able to manage a spot much more easily, and it would make survival far more interesting, I think. The EMP drone, they don't need to add that there. It's kind of stupid. Weapon drop could be a possibility. Just imagine if you throw down this thing, let's say you're just respawn back in, your buddies drop you some really good weapons that aren't normally on the playing field, that come with like full ammo and some random attachments. That's going to be pretty good, especially if you respawn and you lost all your shit. That would be expensive. I'd make that like 9,000. I wouldn't make it any higher than that because I feel like at the same time it's just a very what-if scenario, very multiplayer-esque. I mean, if they had self-revives and stuff like that, I guess this could be extremely useful in very, very tough situations. And I mean, it makes getting restarted much easier, in my opinion. This, I'd charge 7,000 for this. Remember, guys, this has a medium recharge rate, which does mean if you run out of ammo for all your good weapons, you decide to switch your weapons that round. Let's say the box, let's say it works differently. Let's say the weapons you switch out are now in the box, and you can get them back at the end of the round or whatever. Something like that. I don't know. They can do something with it. I think they could. Recon drones is useless as it gets. I wouldn't charge dick for this. In fact, I'd make this like 250 bucks. Really, what this should, or the best use you could possibly get out of it, is getting to see which flanks your enemies are coming at before they get there. And then you ditch the drone and then it's gone forever. That's a very slow recharge rate. It's not going to be useful. See, that's the thing. You can get these new weapons rather easily. So your playstyle is, okay, we're going to save up money, use the weapons I get off the ground, buy this, and every chance I get, I'll just get new weapons and buy ammo for them. I won't even need to buy attachments if I'm just going to get new weapons sooner or later. See my point? This would influence a totally new playstyle. And it would be following the rules. It would regenerate and whatever, it would do its thing. And it would be random. If you unlock it, like let's say it's a weapon you haven't unlocked. Like let's say I haven't unlocked the Chris Vector or the Renetti. Then those won't be in the drop pool. It's only weapons you've unlocked. So let's say I have the AN-94 and the Renetti. That means that's going to be in my drop pool, which means I have a chance of getting a really badass variation of it. And you know what? It may influence people to get into attachments. Let's say it gives you an attachment configuration you didn't know you really liked. You didn't feel like trying it out because you like your way you run it. Let's say you run your Renetti a 3-round burst. But then you get this really high accuracy, no recoil, no existing recoil, just high amount of ammo capacity. And you're like, I've never done this before, huh? This is interesting. Or you get an AK-47 that's like no stock, short barrel, drum mag, it's goofy as fuck, and you're like, huh, this gives me a lot of mobility, which gives me a lot of flexibility in tough situations. And it gives me the capacity to deal with these tough situations, and I can just spray and pray. Like, this would influence so many people to change their playstyle, to change things up. This would make survival crucial. That would be a crucial element to survival, in my opinion. Secondly, I don't want to have to run to the store to go buy ammo constantly, I would make stockpile or stock up or whatever it's called the red perk. I'll show you. This one, restock. That's the one. Recharge equipment over 25 seconds. Granted, I changed that to every 50 seconds, which basically it's almost every minute I get a restock of one of my supplies. If I get shrapnel, that would take 100 and yeah, it'd take like 100 seconds pretty much, which is 1.5 minutes essentially, I guess, if that makes any sense. Just over 1.5 minutes to get both, which is okay. You know, it's not bad. And you know, 25 seconds is a long time, let alone 50 seconds. That's a super long time. That's not going to be, waves won't even last that long unless you're in like high round like 80 or 70 or 80. Will they ever last like 13, 14 minutes where this will become extremely OP? But think about it, 25 seconds you're getting shot at. It doesn't take 25 seconds to die. It only takes 5 seconds to die. So 25 seconds to regenerate some grenades honestly isn't too bad in my opinion. Versus hardline. Let's say in hardline it changes because one less kill streak, right? What if hardline actually made it so that you get discounts at the shop to buy all your shit? That would be a good perk. Though in my opinion it would have to be expensive because I mean everything would be discounted, including your ammo. If it only costs $200 to regenerate all your ammo, imagine a 25% discount to that. You're only paying like less than $150 to get your ammo back. You know, that's some pretty good deals considering that you can buy those one things for $500. If you take 25% off everything in the game, including every weapon, you can essentially trick out everything, and basically you can buy everything really quickly. And then when you bought everything you want and it's of no use, you can sell it. That would also make it easier to get juggernauts. It would also make it easier to get the AC-130s, the chopper gunners. And it would basically get people really, really into getting score streaks, and it would influence them to keep going, I think. But you'd be sacrificing your chance at a third weapon. I get it, overkill gives you 2 primaries. I get that's not its intended purpose to give you 3 weapons. But let's say in survival it gives you 3 weapons. You'd be risking that. Now, high alert, this would be useful against chopper gunners and snipers. This wouldn't be really a useful skill. By and large, it will save you in clutch scenarios, which makes it pretty good. But, you know, whatever. Ghost. Undetectable by radars and UAVs, drones, and heartbeat sensors. I would change this a lot. I know what's it called, cold-blooded. It changes the thermal targeting system. What's it called? I get that. But there's nothing that says that you can't be detected by radar drones, which used to be the big thing. Can't be detected by air. Can't be detected by UAV. Just imagine for a second that if Ghost made you immune to the chopper gunner. Imagine what that would be if you had Ghost and a Juggernaut. Now the enemy chopper gunners are not even paying attention to you. They can't even see you on the radar. They're like, whatever. And you're just sitting there on top of Crash Tower, just mowing everything down. You may say, okay, that's too OP. That's redonkulous. There's no balance. Okay, bud, there's no balance. Well, you can't have 3 weapons. You can't get discounts. You can't regenerate your grenades. That's balanced, in my opinion. If you can do that, and you don't have access to all of these, that's balanced. Point Man, and someone would say, okay, Point Man is a little different. Okay? Because it just... You know, and I get it. Point Man works like this. It works very simple. It changes score streaks it takes away kill streaks into score streaks. Okay. What I would do with Point Man, I would increase the amount of money you get for shooting your enemies. point, man, that would make racking up a lot of money rather quickly. You'd have two economic methods: discounts and making more money. Making more money would be more useful. Discounts, not so much. Just imagine for just a second. You're making more money. You're making, let's say it's 10% of whatever the point is. 10% of 10 is like what, 1? So you're making 11 per hit. 10% of 100 is 10. So you're making 110 for every kill. If it's 110 for like every 2 shots in a kill, it's like, I don't know, 111. I don't know. A lot of extra money. Maybe it wasn't 10% for just a second. Let's say it's 30%. 25%, 30% of what you're doing. So, you know, that's a pretty solid number. You're like, okay, alright. It's more than 10%. Okay, I can see that. Big numbers, big shit, right? Okay. I'm using a Juggernaut, and I get around about 1,000. What's 30% of 1,000? It's like 300 or some shit like that. You know? That's a prime example of like what it would do. Now granted, having everything discounted by 25% makes it cheaper, more affordable. Thus reduces the amounts of points it costs to buy it, thus making you be able to buy a lot more for your dollar. Everything else will still be expensive, though you'll just have more money. Getting the discount would be better, one might think. Well, one might be wrong. If somebody gets, like, let's say, $5,360 from just a straight-up streak, how much do you think that streak will be worth in the 30% margin? How much do you think that would be worth? That's ridiculous. Maybe it should be 35%. Just add that extra 5% difference. I don't know. It would have to be something interesting. It would have to have some sort of economical footing. It would have to be something that would make getting points give you more points. Granted, the discount, with, hardline, giving a 25% discount, 25% of 7,000. I don't know what that number is. Why don't I whip out the calculator and find out? We know that the Juggernaut costs 7,000. So if we look at the economic side of this, let's whip out the good old calculator. I'm not good with percentages. %25 of 7,000. So it would take off 1,750. Okay. So if you subtract 7,000 or 1,750, it adds, it equals, if you subtract that from 7,000, which is how much the Juggernaut cost, it would cost 5,250. Think about it like that, man. That means that for every 10,000 you have, which you end up with a lot of 10,000s for whatever reason at round 60 like I made today, I'd be able to buy 2 Juggernauts pretty much for the cost of less than 1. Think about that for just a second. Now you're thinking to yourself, okay, making 35% more points. So the average that I had per round was at least like 2,000 points per round. At least 2,000 points per round. at that point with those randoms. But then again, I was hogging kills. But if you're by yourself, what would that equal? Just for basic measure. So that would give you 700 more points. So I would have 2,700 more points each round, which means in 5 rounds. So it's 2,700 times 5. So on the average 5, I would have 13,000 points. So then at that case, every 10 rounds, I'd have 26,000. And remember, there's always going to end up being more per wave. So that's not, the number will always increase. But for reference, for just, in theory, that's how it would work. So you'd be making almost a quarter, if not more, of what you have currently, or what I would have had currently at that point in time. Then again, with sharing with 3 other people. Yeah, you heard me. Kill sharing. Kill sharing with other people. Think about that one for a second. That was pretty good. Now, considering if I were to hog all those kills, I made 1,000. Here's a prime example. I made 5,000 or 1,500 or 620. We'll say that, because that's how much approximately I had when I had completed a round in round 1 by myself. Make this estimate here: 1,620. Or actually, better yet, what's 35%? I would have made 500 more bucks, which essentially would have brought me to around 2,000 on round 1, which would allow me to basically buy almost anything I wanted in the AR-15 in the assault rifle category. If I said AR-15, I'm like, oh, what am I talking about? It would allow me to buy any assault rifle I wanted on round 1 if you bought it on round 1, which, by the way, you want it because it's expensive. So you'd probably get it around round like 5 or 6 if you save all your money for it, really, and prioritize it. Maybe round 5. Around round 5, we're going to end up with 2,000. So approximately, you know, you're going to end up with 2,000 every 2 rounds, essentially. Or if not more, maybe 4,000 for 2 rounds. So 35% of basically 80,000 or 8,000 is, you know, you can guess. If you add the, you know, every 2 rounds, you have 2,000. So every 4 rounds, you'll have 4,000. So every 8 rounds, you'll have, yeah, so forth and so on. You know, you're gonna have a lot of more points. Economically speaking, you're gonna end up being able to buy very expensive shit very, very fast if you prioritize Point Man. Though, if you think about it, buying the other option makes things cheaper by 25%. Big numbers off the bat. Here's the difference, right? At first, Point Man doesn't seem, by this theory, by this thesis, by this discovery I've made. In theory, this is all in theory, if they were to do this, it would basically mean, at least the formula I think of when I think about how this is possible, or how they would do it, or at least how it's balanced, at least. We'll get to that. How it is balanced. How would they ever balance it, right? How are they going to, man? It's not feasible. It's not balanced. Okay, whatever. It's not balanced. Okay, whatever. It's balanced now because guess what? The longer you play, the more money you'll make. Okay? So the whole argument I bring to the table is that, okay, reducing the price by 25% on like 7,000, but Point Man makes you earn more money, which doesn't inherently help you at first because you're not making a lot of money at first. But in the later waves, like let's say you make it to wave 70, how much would you have at wave 70 if you had bought everything you wanted? Do the math yourself. Now I'll say this. Find out what 35% of your leftover cash is by that amount, and see how much extra you'd have, and then think about, oh my god, I'd still have money to spend. And you're like, well, if I don't have any more money to spend on extra things, then it's like, okay, well, now you have infinite money essentially. You've injected the game. What's it called? 1,000 every 4 minutes, or whatever it's going to end up being at that point, when all the enemies are going to be slaughtering with all the juggernauts. Let's see, if I spend a juggernaut, if I'm in a juggernaut suit for like 9 waves, I usually end up with like 13 or 14,000. Those 4 waves, if I were to add 30% of 14,000, or I mean 35% of 13,000, and add that to the extra amount of money I'd make, or actually add that to the amount of money I'd have as extra amount of money I'd make from Point Man, you'd have a shitload of money. Which, granted, at first is easy, because now you can buy a shitload of things all at once. Whereas before, it made things so cheap that you could just buy a lot at once too. It does the same effect, but you'll end up with a lot more money if you do it the other way around. And granted, when you shoot an enemy and you get like 35% of 10, we would add that to like, okay, so let's say it's, well, I don't know, what's 35% of 10? I don't fucking know for math, right? You shoot an enemy in the foot with a pistol, you get 10 damage, or whatever damage it is, it doesn't kill them, it's 10. You'd have 3.5, so now you're doing like 3 damage extra, or 3 points extra. So every shot you shoot that doesn't kill them necessarily, that's 13 damage, or 13 points. That's 13 cash. So now let's say you shoot, I don't know, 70 enemy limbs and it doesn't kill all 70 of the enemies, and you repeat that twice. How much by that percentage? 13, right? 13. So how much would you end up having, right? If you were to add all that together, those 70 limbs that didn't kill your enemy, on all 70 enemies, 70 different enemies, and you did it twice or even 3 times. How much would that be? Huh. Well, if 4 times is 12, then every 4 adds 12 more points, which is almost exactly the amount of bonus I'm getting. It's almost 100% of the bonus I'm getting, right? It's about 13%, or 35% almost. So it's like, what, 32%, I guess? Or something along those lines. It's around the same amount of percentage return every 4 shots, if we follow that percentage. So essentially, every 4 shots I hit is almost double the effect that it's doing. So if you think about it, if 200 becomes 400 every 2 shots, or every 2 kills, then 4 times, you could just imagine kind of by that percentage how much money you'd have extra left over. I mean, you'd have a shitload of money, man. That's how Point Man would work, and that's how I want it to work for survival. But no, the devs don't want to add perks to survival. And I just spent almost an entire half an hour explaining how perks should be implemented in survival. If that just doesn't scream like fan fucking, what's it called? Fan dedication, I truly, honestly don't know what does. '80s hip hop. That's cool. They had Run DMC. I'm weak. But they have all this shit in this battle pass, which is ridiculous. And not all of it's in Modern Warfare. A lot of it's in Cold War. Which is upsetting. Because I have content now for Cold War, and I don't even have the game. So that's why I've been thinking about getting it. I thought about it for a long time now. And I'm thinking about, okay, I'm about to be dog sitting. Huh. Oh my god, they got Twist's sister. Cherry Pie. Cherry Pie. Take on Me, that's a classic. Me, take on me. That reminds me of Metal Gear Solid, bruh. No cap. No cap intended, rather. I feel like getting Cold War. Somebody tell me, should I get Cold War? I said I don't want it. I said it's ass. I keep saying it's shit, and I haven't even played it. Tears for Fears Shouts? What? They have Shout? That's my favorite song by them. Rick Astley's Never Gonna Give You Up. I'm weak. I'm weak. I'm weak. A Flock of Seagulls. I Ran. I've never heard that one before. Shout's my favorite by Tears for Fears. Shout, light it all up. These are the things we're into without. Come on. That's such a classic, bro. Dude, I love these little mixtape things, bro. I love the music choices, dog. I am a fan. 17 more days left of this battle pass, bro. I feel like buying the game and then buying all the tiers. Like, what the fuck? Da, 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 da. I'm about to be dog sitting, so I'll have $100 at the end of it all. So should I honestly get it? I don't know. I want to see more reviews, and you know, in my opinion, I don't think it's as good as people make it out to be. I get it, it has zombies and all that, but it's like I really loved World War II zombies. Not for the reasons you might think. I thought they were ass at first. But to be honest with you now, looking back at it, it's kind of interesting, and I kind of really wanted to get to try it out. But also, I mean, I literally had $100 I could have spent. I spent them on movies and stuff, bro. I love my movies. Yeah, I love watching my movies, man. Don't get me wrong. I got it. I bought all the Die Hard movies, man. Very recently, and I just got done watching them all very recently. So, I don't know how I feel about that. Because I have a long list of movies. I want to get Fast Times at Richmond High. And I want to get Pineapple Express. You know, I want to get more movies like that. They're actually kind of funny. But I could literally buy Black Ops Cold War at the same time if I have $100, right? And I guess my whole argument to that would be, I think the game's ass. But then again, I'm so intrigued because I'm seeing, I have content for the game, I don't even have the game itself. Which is very awkward. Excruciatingly awkward. And it's like, I don't want to buy packs, because that's cheap. I don't want to support cheap developers. I want them to add shit to survival. Because I love survival. Nobody else does. I swear to God, nobody loves survival. I swear, bro. I was like one of the only motherfuckers on my friends list. I had one buddy that was really into it, like I did. And he doesn't even have the game anymore. See what I'm saying? Like, I'm the only motherfucker that likes survival. Like, deeply love survival, man. I spent so long just having this conversation about how they can improve survival when I myself am just like, why don't I just get Cold War? Like, I mean, most of my friends have Cold War. I haven't played Cold War. You know, like I said, I don't have Cold War. I've seen gameplays of Cold War. I like that. Slip on out. It says clean getaway. It reminds me of Fight Club a little bit with the soap bar in pink. I like that for whatever reason. Speaking of Fight Club, I own Fight Club. Like I said, man, I'm gonna be toxic, so I'm gonna be getting $100. I get it. I get it. Everyone's praising this game. I'm gonna go talk to my friends about this, man. Like I said, I'm not really into the story. I'll play it just to experience it for myself. But I just gotta say, man, I can't, bro. I literally can't. Blood and gore, drug references, intense violence, suggestive themes. Yes, or B rating system says mature. Okay. No, I'm gonna feel like a complete hypocrite if I say I'm contemplating about getting this game. It's like I have money for it now. I have the ability to get it in the Ultimate Edition. Why do I have this thing here? What the fuck is the purpose this thing serve? Other than pumping air. What am I pumping air into anyway? Oh, that's weird. Half dead. What's this? This is such a harsh decision. Okay, guys, I'm gonna get off here and, contemplate some more.